I recently went to see It Ends With Us. It's based on a book by Colleen Hoover. And what am I really like the movie. I know that everybody has their own opinion, but I really like the movie. I thought that it was great that the daughter could do something that the mother was not able to do, and that is leave a physically abusive relationship. And so I noticed that we as women, so Maya Angelou said, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. And oftentimes, women, we want to change our significant other. We think that we can make them better. We think that if they love us, they'll change. But I realize that we have nothing to do with the other person. The only thing we can do is change ourselves. And we have to have healthy boundaries in place. We have to teach people how to treat us, and we have to set the bar high. And so, what I liked about this movie is, of course, she gave him 3 chances to change, to get better, and maybe more, but I know at least 3 chances to change. And he did not do it. And so, she gave him the 3 chances. He didn't change. And so, she left him. And I love this story because as women, we allow ourselves to be abused in whatever way you want to say, physically, mentally, emotionally, and we stay because we have children. We stay because we think that it's the right thing to do. We stay because of the shame that the culture has placed on us. We stay because we want our children to have a better life, and we believe that 2 incomes will help them do that. We stay because we're afraid to start over. And I love that she was able to leave and take care of herself and do things on her own. I love that she was able to stand up to him and she asked him a question at the end. And so this is spoiler alert. She had a daughter, and she asked him at the end, would you stay with somebody like you? If you were talking to your daughter and she came to you and she said that her husband had pushed her down the stairs, her husband had punched her husband did all these things, would you stay with him? And he said no. And so I think it's a good thing that we can talk about this, that we can see that just because somebody else, our loved ones, our mother, was not able to be brave or courageous, or they have their own reasons for doing it. Maybe they didn't think they would be able to start all over. And I see that as an issue too. Women don't want to start all over. Women are scared to be by themselves. Women are scared to have to pay their own bills with no support, no help. But when you can do this, when you can stand bold in what you believe and how you feel, and more importantly, you can set the standard and hold the other person to the highest standard of respect and love, that you can do that and leave them if they don't, they don't respect you, they don't care about you, they didn't consider you, they continue these behaviors and don't try to get help, these abusive behaviors, and don't try to get help. So I love the movie because you can see we can all relate. Every woman can relate to the movie in whatever way, whether they've been abused or not. Every woman can relate. Every woman who knows somebody who has this story. So I think it was a beautiful story. I think it was very well told. But it's a story that I believe that Maya Angelou really summed it up beautifully when she said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And oftentimes we don't do that. We don't see things for what they really are. We see things as we hope that they'll be. So I hope this will help you just think about, are we blind to what is the way people are? Are we blind to the way people treat us? Are we reflecting and journaling about how somebody does a thing, how they treat you? Is it right? Does it feel right? Is it completely wrong? So just something to be thinking about is, in the future, have you set boundaries? Do you have expectations? Do you have deal breakers of and this is whether it's a romantic relationship or otherwise, what are your expectations in a relationship? How do you expect to be treated?